Welcome back to the third video in our Good Notes training sessions. In this video, I'm going to show you how I will allow you to use Good Notes to take notes inside my class. There's going to be some times when I'm going to allow you to just take a picture of something and put it in your notes, and there's going to be times I'm going to expect you to handwriting, and the handwriting of it is going to be important because the handwriting of it is going to be stuff that I want that rote memorization going on. The pictures are going to be for the basic information that we don't really want all that information going on. So what I've got going on right now is a lesson I taught my algebra class today, and it's lesson 3-3, rate of change and slope. So I'm going to take and I'm going to create myself a new new notebook here. And what's that new notebook going to be called? Well, I'm going to call it 3-3, rate of change and slope. Let's see if it takes and figures that out. Close enough. And I'm going to hit create. Now, before I do create, I want to show you all the choices you have of paper. There's blank paper, dotted paper, narrow ruled, wide ruled. You've got, not letting me choose anything else here, but you got lots of different stuff that you can choose from. I tend to like the wide ruled. It gives me some good space to write and take notes on the digital stuff. So now we've got my assignment. How are we going to start that off? Well, I'm going to take and hit my marker button here, which allows me to put that, and I can take, if that bottom bar, if you pinch it or expand it, you change the size of the box. Now I'm doing that by going down to the bottom where I'm writing, and I'm doing my pinching and my expanding there. And then I click on the box on top to drag it where I want. So I'm going to put it right there, and I'm going to write into it. 3, I don't want that color. That's not a good color for this. 3-3, which is going to be rate of change and slope. Good so far? Maybe even underline that if you want. You can take and go back to underline, or what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn that off. So now I can just, oops, didn't mean to do eraser. Let's try that again. So I can just underline it at the top. Now it's going to be time to actually start taking some notes. So I'm going to take and I'm going to find a good slide that we have some information on. Now definitions, I'm going to want you to write those definitions down. I'm not going to make you watch me write the definitions, but I am going to show you something we can do. We can put in a text box right here, make the text box as big as we want, and hopefully this is going to work. So I'm going to write down rate of change. If I can type properly. And put in my little hyphen bar there, and then, I didn't spell of right, get over it. It's going to say how a quantity is changing, yada, 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 all the way wrong. And what happens if I go, whoops, ran out yada, yada, so I'm going to put in some more yada, yadas here, and look at that. It's automatically making a new line for me. So you can type in notes like definitions, and hopefully you type a lot better than I do, because that didn't go very pretty, because of course I'm videoing it and it's going to look horrible. Now, on this, I'm going to take and I'm going to move forward a little bit further in my notes, and I'm going to take, and there's a particular slide I want to find, and here's one good example of a place that I'd let you take a picture. We got a lot of information going on, so most of that information doesn't need to have you handwrite it. So I'm going to take and click my picture tool. I'm going to select my camera, and now there it is. I'm going to take the picture of it. Now that I have my picture, I'm going to click Use Photo. I'm going to hold my finger on it and select Crop, and then I'm going to crop it in to be just what I want. Done. Expand it to the size I want, and I'm going to put it where I want it to be. And from there, I can go off to the side, or I can go up underneath that and start actually annotating it and doing the mathematics work, because on that particular slide, there's going to be some more mathematics work where we ended up taking and writing, all right, we would have had 324 minus 200, or 317, all divided by 2002 minus 2000, and that ended up giving us a 7/2, also known as a 3.5 for the answer. And that's how that problem would be worked out. I'd let you take a screenshot of the basic information, but then I would expect you to handwrite in the actual math to help make sure, one, you're staying in the game. You're staying focused and not just clicking on photos and not really paying attention. But it's also there to help get that rote memorization going on, just like when we had to type in the definitions. Let's look at another one. Now for this one, we had to take and do some math work, and I told my students when they were working on it that they had to take and start off by writing those two boxes out, and then we were going to annotate the boxes to go with it. We're going to do it differently this time. We're going to start off with taking a picture of those boxes. So I'm going to turn on my camera tool again. I'm going to get the image where I want it, and I'm going to go boom. I'm going to hit use photo. I'm going to hold my finger on it and select crop, and then I'm going to crop it down to be just what I want it to be, nothing more. I'm going to hit done. I'm going to expand it out a little bit, and now I have my two boxes that I needed. Now from there, where I'm going to make my students actually write out what comes next. So what came next in this? Well, they took and had to take and write down, and I've totally lost my forward button here on my computer screen. So we would have had to take and show the comparisons between the two. So we would have gone the arrow key right here, and we would have listed that as -8 minus a -6, all divided by 4/1, and that ended up giving us a -2/3 answer. And then we do the next one and maybe go a different color here. So for that next loop, now we're going to end up going a -10 minus a -8, all divided by a 7 minus 4, which also gave me a -2/3, and we would do that all the way down. If you're having trouble writing in that small of a spot, zoom in. Now we're going to do the next one, which would have been, pick another color here. That one is going to be, where is it at? A -12 minus a -10, all divided by a 10 minus 7, which once again gave us a -2/3. And then I can zoom back out and see my whole page again. Really cool stuff. This is going to hopefully give us the best of both worlds. It's going to make note-taking easier for you because you're not going to have as much intense work to do. And at the same time, it's still going to encourage that rote memorization and keep your mind actively engaged in what's going on. When I take notes, this is exactly what I do. I take pictures of the big picture items, and then I annotate in what I need to on there to help me make sure I'm remembering what I need to know in the assignment. I hope you find this useful. If you have any questions, get with me. I look forward to seeing what kind of work you guys do using this program.